So welcome back, guys. Now that you know that what we are gonna creating in this tutorial series, so let's get started by setting up our files. So first file I'm gonna create is the index file here. So just include these main things, the head and the body. All right, let's save this file. Where it is? Yeah, front system. Index.php. Yeah, so let's give it a title, and the title is friend system. So let's come back here and refresh our page. Here's our first page, the index page, friend system. The title is friend system. All right, now we'll need to create a file that will help us to connect with our database. So let's create the file and save this as connect.php, and here we're gonna do some things like MySQL connect. So it gonna hold 3 parameters. First is gonna hold the host name, so my host name is localhost. After that, the username of the host, this is root, and I don't have any password, so I'm gonna leave it to blank. All right, after that, MySQL select database. So now we'll need to select the database. Just include the name here. So the name of database is friend system. Okay, so let me show you my database. So localhost php my admin friend system. So here's my database. It's empty now, no tables here. So now that we have created our connect file, we can include this file here. So include connect.php. all right, so we're gonna create a new file, and we'll save this as functions.php, and it's gonna hold all the functions that we're gonna create. All right, so let's include this file here, functions.php, and the first function I'm gonna create is to check if the user is logged in or not. All right, so here logged in function. So in this I'm gonna do a simple if and else statement. So if else, and here I'm gonna check the session with the user ID. So if a user will log in, it will start a session with the user ID. So now we'll check that. And the session is not empty. So if the session is running and it's not empty, it will return us a true value, else it will return us a false. So now we'll know that if the user is logged in or not. All right, so here our file is included. Let's create one more file, and here it's gonna be the header file, and it's gonna hold our title bar and stuff. All right, so let's include it here. All right, and we're gonna create more files in other parts. So let's come back here. Maybe we want to create our style sheet first, so let's create that and save it as style.css, and here we're gonna change the font family and the font size 12 pixels. all right, after that, background. So I want to change the background to like black type of color, and the font color to white, and yeah, that's good. Let's come back here and add some codes. So here the source of that style sheet, style.css. so our home page is ready. I think yes, our home page is ready. So let's give it this title, maybe ID. That's gonna be the title bar. So it's our title bar, and we're gonna style this inside here. So title bar. All right, I want to do one more thing. Just we want to give a margin to this page of 10 pixels and a padding to 0 pixel. Alright, now let's modify our title bar. So I'm gonna give it a background of gray type of color and the font color to black, and I'm gonna give it a padding of 10 pixels. And what else can I give it? Maybe border radius 5 pixels. Let's add some text inside this title, title bar, and just to check if it looks good. Yeah, so here's our title bar, and we can add some options inside this. So I'm gonna create an unordered list for options. Alright, and here the li. So in the first li, I'm gonna give a link of URL of the home page, and that's gonna be the index.php. Alright, after that we want to give the options according to the user, if it's logged in or not. Alright, so we'll do a check by if and else statement. So if user is logged in, it will show us some options here, and if it's not, then we'll show some other options here. Alright, so if a user is logged in, then we want to show that user. We'll come here. So first thing we want to show is the profile page, the user profile, and we'll say profile.php. The next thing we want to show is here, maybe request.php. We'll create these pages later. So here we will show these requests, his friend requests or her. Alright, after that one more page, and that's gonna show friends list, bunch of friends, the user's friends. Alright, so friends.php. After that one more page, members.php, and it's gonna show us all the site members. So if you are having a lot of members, you don't need to create that page. You can create a search option like Facebook or like Google Plus, but we don't have these type of options, so I'm gonna create just this member page. So log out, the last page for if a user is logged in, logout.php. and if a user is not logged in, then what? Then if we show some other pages like login, here login.php, and maybe what the here register.php. So register. Alright, so come back here and refresh. So here's an option we don't want to show like this, and let's go to our style sheet and modify these options. So we'll do that here. So title bar ul, so we are modifying the unordered list inside the title bar. So I'm gonna remove the list style from that, and I'm gonna remove the padding and the margin. So in this way, if you'll come here, you'll see that now there's no padding, no margin, and no list style. So now we can modify the LIs. So title bar ul li, and we can maybe like float them to the left side and give them padding 10 pixels from top and bottom and 0 pixel from left and right. So you'll see what I'm gonna do. So if I refresh, you can see that these are not inside this title bar. That's because these are floating to the left. We can fix that by creating a class that's gonna be clear class, and here I'm gonna clear the both float left and right, and then come back here, and before this ul ends, we'll add that div class equals to clear, and we'll end that div here. Now come back, refresh, and you'll see that these are in the box now. Alright, so Now we can modify the anchor tags inside this in these LIs. So title bar ULLIA. So now we are modifying those anchor tags. So background to same, okay, and color to black, and padding to 10 pixels, and text decoration to none. Alright, so after that we'll do one more thing. If a user hovers over the anchor tag, you will change the background color to black and the color to white. Let's have one more thing here, the border radius to 5 pixels. Let me check, refresh. So now if I hover over them, you can see the changes. So that's good. Let's have one last thing, and we're gonna do that here. So div, and I'm gonna give this a class of maybe like container. So it's gonna hold the whole body, the body of our page. Let's modify that. So container, TAINER, and we're gonna do that here. So the background to gray, color to black, and padding 10 pixels, border radius, not border radius 5 pixels. What else we can add? Yeah, margin to 0 pixels, maybe 10 pixels from the top and bottom, and 0 pixels from the left and right. All right, and the width maybe 50% of the page. So we'll refresh, you'll see that now it's the width of this container is the 50% of page. You can center this by like this, just give it out of, you will center that div, but I don't want to center that. I'm gonna work like this. And let's have one more thing to this, that's gonna be the minimum height. So I'm gonna give this a minimum height of 500 pixels, just to give it a better look. So our main page is ready. We can add our register and the login page, so we'll do that in the next part.